G'day and welcome to the Off-Chain Podcast. Don here with you. Our guest today is Alena Afanaseva, CEO and founder of BeInCrypto, one of the world's leading media platforms. BeInCrypto publishes in 26 languages with a global team of around 200 people based in 50 different countries. We're really excited to speak with Alena about the impact of AI on content, how the 24/7 crypto media cycle is evolving, and her personal experiences in building a very successful media business. Let's dive in. Tell us, Alena, what is your origin story? How'd you get started in crypto?
I come from a traditional finance background. I think it's kind of the logical step to start analyzing traditional finance and then start digging deeper into digital currencies. That's how I started. My career started in fintech as a fundamental analyst, covering forex, commodities, and stock markets. I worked those times for a TradFi company. And, interestingly, one of my first leadership roles, even before that, then I just started my career, was managing a team that curated and translated financial news for Russian-speaking traders.
Right.
It was like, it was like 20 years ago. And at that time, the market in Russia was very immature. And access to trading information was extremely limited. I think, like in English-speaking world, it was very developed, but access to trading information was limited, and in fact, often my team had to invent new financial terminology because proper translation didn't even exist yet.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and I realized that just recently, like the history repeats, and right now, years later, at that stage, I find myself in kind of a very similar position because what we started with in BeInCrypto, we started educating and informing people about another emerging and misunderstood topic, blockchain and crypto. But the difference is this time it's happening in 26 languages and across more than 50 countries. And and actually right now we are currently working on a new product specifically designed for crypto traders, which I'm really excited about. So again, the history repeats.
Well, that's amazing. How did the idea for BeInCrypto develop? Where did that come from?
Like I mentioned, I started analyzing Bitcoin as a digital currency maybe around 2014, and I dig deeper into it. I was very curious about how it's working. I even tried to apply technical and fundamental analysis to Bitcoin those times, and it never worked, obviously. If you remember how it was traded 10 years ago, it was absolutely different picture. But around, I think, 2017, a friend of mine was starting this PR agency covering ICO hype. And she knew that I'm into crypto, at least somehow, and she came to me asking for help to write content about some of the ICOs, to help with some consultancy and advice. And I started to read white papers. And in some cases, it was so exciting. I was like, wow, it's changing the world. It's such a new technology that will significantly improve the obsolete financial system, or I don't know, healthcare system or logistics. But in some cases, it looked like shit, these guys were. Do you remember those times, the ICO boom?
Absolutely. It was amazing. Was it $20 million off a white paper or, it was nuts. And you're right, exactly, they're everywhere.
Exactly. That's the point. And I remember there was this case I think the project itself called the Bitcoin and Ethereum pan. You know, uh, it was a pitch to sell pans with the word Ethereum engraved on them.
Okay.
Not blockchain-based pans, not tokenized products, just literal pans with Ethereum printed on them, and they tried to attract a lot of investments into that, and it looked crazy. But the craziest part of that was that many outlets actually published the press release that this PR agency compiled, simply because they paid. And actually, those times I realized that there is the gap in the industry. It's clearly something exciting. The whole technology is something that we can do, but at the same time, there was no this rules. There were no um, uh, great journalists, there was no original reporting. So uh, it was a complete Wild West. And I realized that probably if we went at the right time into this space, we will be able to improve it. And that was part of our first mission to bring the unbiased news about crypto and blockchain and Web3. The word Web3 didn't even exist those times. It was August 2018 when we started BeInCrypto, and that was my biggest motivations.
Yeah, and obviously you built something really amazing and large. Like I said, 26 languages is pretty amazing. For any endeavor, let alone essentially a startup over the last 7 or so years. As a founder, we've got a lot of people who listen to the show or watch the show who are founders. They're not trying to make media or kind of communication companies necessarily, but what have you learned from building this business, from being someone who is more maybe analytically based before working in fintech and caring more about the fundamental analysis and whatnot, to now building a business or having built a business and continuing to scale? What are some of those lessons that you've learned, particularly when it comes to blockchain, but then also more generally just in terms of being a founder yourself?
Obviously, what matters is people. People is the core. And what I learned is to start with know your weak spots. And you are not supposed to know everything, right? You need to know your superpowers and you need to know your weak spots and find someone whose strengths complement them. Think of it like diversification. I'm coming from an analytical background, so for me, it's the diversification, exactly. Yeah. You are not supposed to be good at everything, but it's your job and responsibility to build a team that collectively can build a great product. That's one point. So start with this, define the core team. And when we started, it was the team of 4. We launched our website September 2018, only 4 people, obviously focusing on only English website. And we started with this idea that we're not going to run any ads or banners. This is our core value. This is our mission. And that's another point. Have your mission, have your values that will align everybody, that will build your DNA as a company. So we focused entirely on building the team, on shaping our editorial direction. And honestly, it paid off. So in 2018, there were I don't know, maybe 200, 300 news outlets, blogs covering crypto, but all of them were kind of equal. There were maybe couple of prominent ones, but still the space was immature. And half a year later, we already reached 1 million monthly readers.
Oh.
And outperformed basically, I don't know, 200 other news outlets. And fast forward to today, 7 years later, we are covering news in 26 languages. And I'm really proud of the story. Just recently, we are publishing the stories that end up in the US Senate hearings. Uh, just couple of weeks ago, we uh, noticed something. So, but in May, one of our great journalists published an article about crypto donations to Senator Gillibrand, which was later retweeted by the ex-White House ethics lawyer Richard
All right.
Painter. And yeah, it was just a tweet, you know. And then a week ago, we noticed that he was invited to the Senate hearings, and he was questioned in the Senate about this specific tweet.
All right.
And Senator Robert, no, the funniest thing of all that, the Senator Robert Kennedy was literally holding a printed copy of our article in his hand, and we have the video, and this is our article, and that was like really surreal, this proud moment of the entire team. So that's coming back to the question. That's the core. Like we have the values, we have the passion, we have one DNA that unites all of us, and that's the advice. Build a core team. Make sure that they are diversified and they are smarter than you in many areas. Second, align regarding mission, values, the corporate culture. And third, and the most important, uh, build the HR department, especially if you are growing too fast and growing too big. Because we started as 4, and then half a year later, I realized that in English, there is a lot of information, but in other languages, the information didn't exist. You know, we in some of the locations we are top 1, top 2, because we were among the first to start coverage of Web3 space. So we grew. We hired people all over the world, and 3 years later, I think we reached the number of 220 employees working absolutely remotely. And it was a disaster, honestly. It was such a chaos because we didn't realize we're that big. We didn't have HR department. Everybody were like, coordinating each other. One HR guy, recruiter, corporate culture, care, like one person basically cared about 200 people. And we slowed down significantly. It was a mess. It was a chaos, a lot of bureaucracy. Some people got lost during the onboarding stage. Some people got lost during the offboarding stage. So it was terrible. So my third advice, hire HR and build a structure right when you reach, I think, around 50 people. Right after this, especially in remote, it is important to have like clear codex, clear rules, how corporate culture in general works for you, what are the do's and don'ts, what we value. For example, in our environment, what we value is results. We don't care how many hours you worked.
Sure.
Our company is completely remote, you know. I don't want to count how many hours you worked and stayed in front of the computer. But what I care is the result, the speed with which you deliver the deadlines, the KPIs, the communication as well. That's another probably challenge to actually unite and align people from these 50 countries. Mentality is so different, and I'm still learning. Sometimes it's like, wow, uh, Latin America is so different, and then wow, South Korea behaves absolutely in for me in not traditional way, and it's always a learning curve. People are so diverse, and it's even kind of I don't know how to say the whole structure of our company kind of reflects the industry itself. We are flexible, diversified, uh, remote, and decentralized, and it's great. Feels great.
Oh man, that's amazing. Actually, I didn't realize how many employees are working in so many different countries. How do you find being and I love the fact, you say that you are that kind of outcomes based, you're not tracking hours, but you're tracking outcomes and results, which I am a big advocate for that. How do you find people go with that from all of those different cultures? I imagine there'll be some who would just love it and be like, yes, I love that freedom, love the liberty to be able to get my work done
Yeah.
in however many hours it takes. And I imagine others would really struggle with that in more of a, tell me what I need to do rather than, or tell me how I need to do it. Give me some parameters and I will do the work, not, necessarily being so focused on the outcome. How do you find that across cultures?
Yeah. That is a very different approach in every culture. Like, for example, I'm Slavic, and for the Slavic mentality, it's quite easy. Like, our education is setting the final goal and building the steps to this final goal. So you know what to do. You kind of self-driven. For Asian culture, for example, it's more into they follow whatever you say. Like it's a lot of hierarchy, and if you said so, they do not question. And you are setting the KPIs, and they do their best to reach the final goal.
Mm-hmm.
In Latin America, it's the absolute extreme opposite. In Latin America, it's about communications, about nurturing the relationships. You are supposed to build, this environment. They need to be inspired. They need to, they always follow like the inspiration. And that's why whenever obviously we have the C-level managers, but in every location we have regional representative, the team lead, who is basically doing all this work. And at the same time, from structural perspective, obviously we use all these remote tools. Like Slack is the core of our communications. We have a HRM system that has all the content, all the information. We have a very transparent onboarding process, like with all the steps, so people are not lost. They know whom to talk to. They know where to get the information. All the information, the knowledge base is stored in our HRM system, and we follow the agile approach. So every year, the board of directors meet offline, and that's another a very cool story. We don't see each other. Some people have never seen each other, but for board of directors, we usually meet once per year. We always choose one new place to meet. We spend 1 week, with the moderator and planning our OKR having our OKR session and planning our 1 year strategy. We define what are the goals, what are the objectives, what are the key results, how we're going to move on, who is the owner of all that. And then we just come back and break down everything to the team leaders, to the managers in different localities. And they are already the ones who make sure that the key results are achieved, that the objectives are followed. and every quarter we have those quarterly reviews of what was done, what was not done, maybe some changes in the strategy, because we live in a very volatile world. So yeah, it feels like this flexible, remote, exciting environment, but at the same time, it is based on a very structured culture that is built by our HR department.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that the longer you are going and the larger you grow, the more those kind of systems really have to be dialed in to prevent the kind of chaos you're talking about earlier. I'm wondering about the
Exactly.
actual work that you're doing. You mentioned before about being, laser focused on vision and mission in the industry, in this industry, right? Our industry. There are some players, some organizations, some people who are exceptional. They're just world-class operators, very high integrity, high output. And then there are others who may also be world-class operators, but very low integrity, very, very much, hungry for the money or will steamroll over people to get it. I imagine being someone who observes the totality of the industry, you've seen behind the curtain of the of kind of all the good stuff and all the bad stuff over the last 7 years, and there's been a lot of some significant highs and some significant lows. How do you keep so laser focused on the kind of unbiased journalism you're talking about before? When how do you stay over this side of the ledger with the people of integrity who continue to do exceptional world class work, when there are so many people over on this side of the ledger or this end of the spectrum who, again, they're also doing very good, I don't want to say good work. It's not morally good, but they're effective, let's say, in their mission. But yeah, how do you not get caught up in, I guess, the opportunity there to do the wrong thing or to be biased or to veer off your mission into just pursuing easy money or easy notoriety or easy power?
That's a very good question, and I think about it a lot. Like I mentioned, our mission was exactly there. We started to make sure that we are not shilling any shitcoins, that we are not misleading people, we are unbiased. But what I see, and from the very beginning, the whole space was so immature. It looked like more the blogging sphere rather than news outlets and media. True. And the industry, I mean, specifically the crypto media industry, has already matured a lot. And what I see right now is like two trends developing. One, high level quality news outlets. Actually, I realize that the industry matured a lot. New players are in the space. TradFi is already here, and they want to play the I don't know, the rules that have been existing for hundreds of years in journalism, right? Of course, there is still the gap between the traditional finance media and the crypto media. We are too young. We give us some time, but I see that some of the news outlets really want to provide the high level quality information, not misleading people, cherry picking with whom we can speak and
Sure.
who are probably not the right benchmark for for readers. Then another trend is because of this huge money that was brought first by ICOs, then what was that? NFTs, right? Then was metaverse story. That was DeFi. Right now it's RWA and meme coins. And then they are becoming this marketing factories, I would say. You cannot call them news outlets. It's not about news at all. It's not about original reporting. It's like we are producing this amount of information that we will be able to attract this amount of audience that we will be able to sell to these amounts of meme coins. And that's how it works. It's very simple. There is no mission, there is no value. It's business based. I think it's a very short term strategy, but it works right now. And what I also see, that AI, to put the factor of AI right now on top of that, it's another trend that is coming. So AI is gonna decrease the cost of content production, of this basic content production that they have been producing for quite some time. And it feels that it gives them even more opportunities to make more money, to do a lot of more marketing stuff. But in reality, with the growth of AI generated content, with the decrease of the cost of content production, the cost of acquisition of a loyal reader, of the loyal audience, is significantly increasing.
Sure.
Because this amount of absolutely random information that you probably need to check all the time, it brings you the AI fatigue. We probably don't feel it right now, but it's gonna happen already in half a year or a year. I already see this is AI generated. I'm not gonna read that. I'm not sure if you feel it.
Oh yeah.
You do this?
I speak with my kids about this all the time. Even they are already getting sick of it. Yeah.
Exactly. And people are smart, and what they gonna prioritize is this properly curated, good quality content that is not wasting their time and not insulting their eyes, and their brain. So I think this is the change of paradigm right now. We are entering into the new stage where the community, the media, the good quality content will matter even more. Although everybody's saying AI is going to kill journalists, I don't believe so. I think those who have values, who have goals, who have mission, will stay here, provided they have a clear long-term strategy.
And so you think, so again, I was talking with one of my kids about this just this week, and I was kind of, crystal balling that it would take maybe 2 years before the tide starts to turn, both in the kind of fatigue that people have in reading AI generated content,
Yeah.
but also in the quality of AI generated content, which has gotten better and better, but being so self-derivative and then compound that self-derivation over time will get worse and worse. I think we're about to hit peak AI for content creation, and then people will be desperate for that kind of human created content again. But you think
Human
6 months? So you reckon 6 months and it's time?
It's happening already now. Let me share with you something. So we knew about ChatGPT and what OpenAI did and is doing. I think first we heard about it like maybe 4 years ago, and we already started to test something, to check something, and it hallucinated a lot. And then we came back to this AI potential 2 years ago, and again realized that it's not going to help us. And then last year we were checking the capacities, and we were like, okay, now AI could be a good tool to support, to accelerate the performance of our journalists, because everybody gets burned out doing one and the same routine work. So what AI can help you with, it's in the right hands, with the right brains. It accelerates the marketing trends research. It accelerates the sourcing of data. It accelerates the translation if needed. If you got the source in another language, you can translate it okay, yeah, you will work with that. Maybe it's not a fantastic level, but anyways, you already know what to work with. Plagiarism check, spelling check, all of that could be automated a lot. So what we need is like really good quality professional journalist who works with all these tools and like operates it properly to be to have more time for creativity. And we realized that 1 year ago and kind of started to build this set of tools to support our journalists. And we were like, okay, it's going to take time. Google search and the other companies going to adjust to it. We have around 2 to 5 years. 1 year later, right now, we start seeing organic traffic decreasing. Whatever you do, improving the quality, increasing the coverage of different topics, improving the UX, UI. Organic traffic is going down, and it's already now. And we were like, started to go deeper into the numbers. Right, that 1 month ago, Google rolled out the new AI interface in the United States. Do you know the result of that?
No, tell me.
30% decrease of traffic for companies who were relied on the US audience specifically.
Wow, all right.
In our case, like we are diversified, it's huge. Moreover, we started to dig deeper and I checked SimilarWeb. Guess what kind of content business model is hit the hardest, like was the first to be hit? If we are talking about like Gemini, how it works in Google, it gives you the summaries. Who was hit the first?
Journalism, right?
It was even not the journalists specifically, the content websites that were covering educational content, how-tos, listicles, explanatory articles. So all this expert content that actually takes a lot of efforts to build with the right expert, etc. So there is this company, I'm not sure, do you know them or not? I do, and I think they do a fantastic job. NerdWallet, that is covering, you do. So they lost more than 30% of traffic, of organic traffic during the last year.
Yeah.
Although
Go
the
to
quality.
Gemini or ChatGPT or Grok or whatever and say, hey, I need to find this that I used to go to their website for, but you tell me now.
No, not even like that. That's gonna be the next stage. What's happening right now? So Google trained their models on this good quality content of NerdWallet and Forbes Advisor as well. Then they completely removed Forbes Advisor from the Google search. They trained their models, that's it. So if you start Googling right now, Forbes Advisor, it's not there. You can go there only directly. Yeah. And we were like, okay, Google punished them because they did something wrong. In reality, Google took their business. What they, if somebody is texting right now in Google, what is, I don't know, a student's loan, then the summary pops up. The student's loan is blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
And they do not give you the sources. They do not redirect you to the website that actually wrote it. And this is huge. So all this business that NerdWallet have been building for, I think they've been for more than 15 years already, and they grew it a lot. So it was just hijacked. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. I think they're gonna start cutting the budget. I think they're gonna start letting people go because it's already significant. 30% of traffic, it's a lot. And it's the first starting point. The next stages will be first all the English-speaking countries. Then they go most probably to Romanic, Germanic languages. In Latin America, I think it's gonna be the second stage. Asian and Cyrillic are going to be the latest ones, but still it's going to be there. Maybe it will take, and that's the point that you questioned if it's going to be 6 months. It happened already 1 year ago and we didn't notice. And I was like, when I started to compare, because I do not use similar web that often to compare like different websites, I'm checking my numbers. But if you see the whole picture, I think Washington Post, according to Axios, Washington Post lost around 30 to 40% during the last 12 months. And it's happening here already now.
It seems to me that
it is.
This is going to be Google shooting themselves in the foot, though, because if Washington Post or like go out of business, stop producing the content, AI has nothing more to scrape and then gets worse results. Therefore, people stop trusting it. Therefore, people are going to go to the new node wallet that pops up, in its absence. It strikes me that this is a little short-sighted or self-destructive, unless there's some sort of IP protection or payment for details or something like that. I don't know. Do you have any solutions? Have you thought through any kind of what's a good next step given the reality of and the proliferation of AI?
I think one of the first trends, and obviously all the US-based huge news media already working on that. They have subscription and they keep their loyal base not to be dependent on organic traffic.
Yeah.
What is clear right now, organic traffic is gonna die. So all this previous era of huge search engine traffic, it has already ended, and we need to agree with that. We need to switch our attention to something else. So what are the other sources besides the search engine traffic? It's referral traffic, cross promotion, referral partners, news feeds. It's social media traffic that brings you more audience. It's newsletters traffic. So if you have your subscription base, it will keep your community loyal and the community will stay with you. So working with all the alternative sources of traffic, and obviously ChatGPT Perplexity traffic, which is increasing. That's another point that we noticed. So it started like half a year ago, I think in August, maybe even more. So what we noticed, we started to see among the referral traffic sources, ChatGPT first. And I think it was in August. And initially it was like in top 20. Right now, guess what? What's the biggest source of referral traffic for our news outlet? It's ChatGPT.
It is. What?
So previously, yeah, I'm talking about referrals. So referral traffic is like TradingView has our news feed inside their feed. So they are sending part of the traffic to us. Yahoo Finance, same. So previously it was CoinGecko, TradingView, CoinMarketCap, Yahoo Finance. Right now it's ChatGPT, the top of the top, and it's going to grow, obviously. So one of the strategies is to be visible to ChatGPT. How? It's the question. Do your own research. Nobody knows. But obviously, there are ways to, like, they are already talking. All the previous years, we've been focusing on SEO optimization. Right now, it's called GEO optimization. The optimization for ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, and others. Yeah. And already starting, lots of people are focusing on that. So
I've got a friend who's been doing a lot of A/B testing with communications, and he is finding that the more he uses AI to generate the content, the higher it rates, even on social media platforms, in Google searches. And so for me, I think this is us circling the drain, actually, if that's true. the more interaction AI has had with the production, the better it will do, meaning that people will be motivated then to use more AI to generate content. Therefore, the next training data for AI is AI generated content, and it's all downhill from there.
Could be. We still don't know. I think there are like lots of factors and things that actually influence the ranking in ChatGPT or another AI tool. But that's the subject for an investigation. So coming back to the question, what is the strategy? First strategy is keep your loyal audience community through newsletters, social media, or referral traffic partners. Second strategy is to prioritize the geo optimization, mean being present in ChatGPT, whatever it means, what we notice that they make the snapshots of the information. Like if you ChatGPT, what are the top best performing, I don't know, crypto exchanges? So it will retrieve the information from from prominent news outlets like us, I don't know, CoinDesk, the Block. If we have this news, it's kind of giving the signal to ChatGPT that this is the relevant content, and that those whom we mention are in ChatGPT. That's another point, that it's gonna completely change the strategy with PR promotion and distribution. So what previously all the companies did. So the idea was, that's what marketing managers do. They come to PR agency, and PR agency is providing you the bulk of PR distribution list with different news outlets. Two of them are probably like high level, and all the rest is that's marketing factory stuff, very cheap ones, and that's how PR agencies make money. So for me, this whole strategy doesn't make sense, because the small shitty websites are not gonna be present in ChatGPT. So what you need to prioritize is actually the strategy to stay in this top 3 to 5 news outlets related to crypto industry, and then you will be visible. Don't waste your time and money on something that is irrelevant for the space. So like you see, there are lots of things that are the consequences of what's going on right now with this paradigm change.
That's a brilliant PR tip,
Important.
Alena. That's amazing.
That's something that I'm researching right now. I'm trying to understand what's going on. And then I think the third direction is more of a long-term strategy. How you gonna work with your readership, how you gonna engage your audience. One thing is to have all this referral sources, social media, etc. But another thing is the quality of the content and the value of the content. So you really need to understand who is your target persona, who is, what are their interests and values, how overwhelmed they are with AI generated content, and what exactly they want to get from you. And this is the product that we are building right now. We want to build the curated content feed that will be personalized according to your needs. So you can make the checks of something that you really want to know, like notifications, what's the way to get this notification, what exact news you would like to get. I don't want to have news about, I don't know, Trump coin, but I would love to follow Ethereum or Solana news. All these things to be set properly will bring you absolutely valuable information and will not overwhelm you with hundreds of news that are popping up right now from different sources.
Who are your readers? Are they traders? Are they investors? Are they people who are just generally interested in cryptocurrencies? Are they government workers who are looking to form regulation? Who's actually reading?
The core, from the very beginning, the core was the beginners. because we focused on this simplified, very accessible content in all the languages. That was the mission. And that's why we have a huge bulk of beginners who are interested and curious to know something new. And for that, we created our educational section that's going to be killed by Google very soon. Then we transformed our mission into the area where we give valuable information and kind of empower your crypto journey, right? And right now, it's more like beginner traders. So the ones that already have a wallet, already made their first step, but still a little bit lost. And then we have a more sophisticated, the third persona is more sophisticated trader who is interested in getting the information as fast as possible and to get the deeper on-chain analysis. So right now, these are the three personas. And of course, we have the B2B persona, the ones who are reading about the regulation, since we are covering the changes in the regulation all over the world. And for many companies, they are global and they want to know where is the next big thing, or shall we go in this region? So we also have this persona that is curious about the regulation, the new trends in some specific markets. And this is how we also educate them in some kind of way.
I mean, that's a lot. There's a broad kind of readership there, and a lot of other people say that kind of personalized product offering sounds really awesome. That's great.
It is, yeah. But this is how we build. Our product. We basically build the ecosystem, the platform, the media platform that is aligned according to the different interests of our audience, and we are very data driven again. My DNA is analyst, and it's coming from my love to numbers and data-driven decisions. So what we want to do, we want to actually expand the number of personas that we have, because we will be able to understand what kind of content they are interested to know, what kind of curation we need to do for them, and what kind of value we need to bring. And we are launching the first step of that in September. It's going to be the light version, absolutely free. And I think very soon we're going to launch the waiting list, so press subscription to test our product. But the real pro version that is going to be very cool, very personalized, is going to be launched in the first quarter of the next year. It takes time to develop all that.
Yeah, man, that sounds exciting. We're going to have to wrap up soon, but I do want to ask, you've been in the industry for a long time, and in particular, not just in and around the industry, but like I said before, you sit behind the curtains, you are actually doing kind of the work of journalism, finding stories and communicating those stories. So I would imagine you'd have a very particular and unique perspective on the industry as a whole. I'm wondering, do you have any particularly contrarian perspectives where everybody thinks one way, but you find yourself always thinking over there, or everyone's kind of swimming upstream and you're thinking, well, we should be swimming over this way?
Absolutely. Yeah, I have lots of hypotheses, but we do not have enough time to share it. One of this, for a long time, and I mentioned it before, we believed in mass adoption. Our mission was to speed up the mass adoption, to make sure that blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies, Web3 in general, is accessible to as many people as possible, everywhere, in any location, because it may significantly improve their life and give lots of opportunities. I'm a strong believer of that. But lately, with all this, watching all that, ICO, meme coins, NFTs, the way it's all covered by traditional media, by crypto media, it's all, distorting the whole idea of cryptography, of blockchain technology. And honestly, I'm starting to question if we should focus on mass adoption. Maybe it should not be about mass adoption, but about smart adoption.
All right, interesting.
There are some, yeah, like, look, we right now we live in the world where presidents can launch their meme coins. I mean, it's like the next crazy level. I live in Argentina, so Milei was into, shilling another very weird meme coin. So yeah, it was crazy. So it kind of demotivates me. It kind of frustrates me. There are so many bad actors now, people using blockchain to deceive, to scam, to just launch another meme coin. And it doesn't really bring value. It actually distorts the reputation of the Web3 space. And sometimes it really feels like we are replicating the same flows of TradFi. So we are just improving the TradFi industry, and that's it, just within this new branding, although the potential is much bigger. So I think this technology should be reserved, or at least focused on those who genuinely want to build better systems in finance, in healthcare, in logistics, people who are solving problems, not just chasing the next big thing, the next token pop, the next meme coin. So mass adoption may come one day, but responsible adoption must come first. That's that's something I'm thinking about right now. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna change. I'm gonna focus on that and keep pushing it further. But right now, I have this feeling that we probably need to limit the adoption to the smart people who are real builders.
I mean, I like that. I think you would find that a majority report if people actually considered that, surely. Other than the shillers and the, the scammers, I think people understood that rightly. Surely people could see the wisdom in that. Because you're right, we've been pushing mass adoption for 7 years plus now. I mean, the Bitcoin maxis have been on board with mass adoption from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But, ever since probably 2017, like I said, people have been saying, okay, mass adoption, how do we onboard the next billion customers, et cetera, into crypto? But maybe you're right. The better way to go is actually let's make some actually real world useful solutions that solve real problems and show people it works, and then just build a bunch of those, and then voila, we have adoption.
Exactly. And honestly, we have Trump to take care of the speeding up the mass adoption. I mean, he is the biggest influencer, the biggest influencer in the world. But what shall we do with those who adopted with Trump, and what shall we offer to them? That's, I think, the biggest challenge. So yeah, they are coming. They are coming for this fast money because of the hype, etc. But if we do this curation, like, guide them through to something that is meaningful and important, that's another challenge that I would love to commit to.
I mean, you've got a big mouthpiece to be able to do that with BeInCrypto, so I guess you could be a part of actually seeing
that. Yeah.
Alena, thank you so much for joining us today. I really, really appreciate it. If people want to hear more from you or find out more about BeInCrypto, where can they find you online?
Obviously, beincrypto.com, and we have about us pages and company pages. Me specifically, I'm present on LinkedIn, and you can easily find me, Alena Afanaseva, BeInCrypto Media. From time to time, I'm attending a lot of events in crypto space, so I'm covering something that I notice as a trend. So I try to not overwhelm people with lots of content, but more like highlighting, okay, this is what I notice. This is what's interesting. It's not too much. It's maybe like once per 2 weeks. But if you want to follow me on the trends, find me in LinkedIn.
All right, good on you. Well, again, all the best with the rollout of this new product. And thank you again for being a consistent and integral voice across blockchain and crypto. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It was a very big pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Off-Chain. We love bringing you great guests like Alena and hope we've inspired you to think and learn more about technology, about the future, about media and how you consume media, and even about AI and how you might participate in building content. As always, please like, subscribe, or better yet, share this episode with a friend and help us spread the word. And join us again next week for another great episode of Off-Chain with me, Don. Until then, take care.